How you doing, guys? Welcome back to our Thursday night wrap-up. We're going to be in here for the Panthers and the Knights game, and how good is this man, Nathan Cleary? 87 in his second lowest score of the year. I think he had an 86 in one of them, but 87 this game for an average of 96 is just incredible. And again, didn't have to do a lot this game. He had a nice try assist early on in the game, but just see someone that he just basically stuck with his points to minutes across the whole game. And again, 54 points in tackles and kick meters. So, and he's always averaging around that 70 to 110 sort of meters gained. So there's, in the 60s already. And then it's just any attacking stats from there. He's going to be up in the 80s and 90s. So just incredible. And I don't see how he slows down. And, I think there's a chance that he averages like 80 this year, which I think would be incredible. There might be a bunch of games over the Origin period that they might take him off with 15 minutes to go or something. But Cleary's been incredible, and if you've had him as captain every game since the start, you're probably doing okay there. Kurt Mann was actually really good last night. I was thinking this a week or so ago that when Pearce went down, that once Kurt came back from his injury and hit the ground running again, that he'd be back to his really good scoring that he was last year, and he's someone that averaged in the low to mid 50s last year. So this made a fair bit more sense that he would score like that, and he's going to be a very interesting option because he's someone that plays in round 13 bye, which the whole both of these sides do, the Panthers and the Knights. So I think he's a fairly solid option. He's always been good in defense. He's spent a bit of time at 9 and defended well there, and he runs the ball well, kicks 308 meters. Kind of had the perfect game there. Obviously 83. I'd be expecting somewhere in the mid 50s, but you get him in a discount now after he's dropped 167k, and this makes him average 44 for the year. So he's someone to think about going forward. And Mr. Brailey there, he is someone that I classed as a must-have this week. If you don't have him, which the majority of people that are actually serious about the game do, then you need him in. And another 71 to tie his average for the year has been he's been incredible, and you can't expect anything more from him with that. He's going to be up over 800k after this week, and about 400k in gains. So awesome work for him if you started with him, especially. Brian To'o, he's been incredible. And he run for over 250, 300 meters every game. 336 meters this time, 33 points just in run meters. So there's your base. You don't even need him to do anything else other than that. But only 4 tackle breaks in 336, which is a bit under what you'd expect. But to get a nice try at the end, and how much mayo did he put on that try? It could have gone over untouched, just diving in there, but just do the old front flip, no worries. He's so fun to watch, and owners of him that especially those guys that brought him in this week will attest to that, how good it is to see him have the ball in his hands so often and do his thing. So he's special. The question is going to be, is he going to be playing Origin? But I don't know if he can take. He's obviously a left edge player. You've got Addo-Carr, who's a left edge, and he'll be in the Origin team. And it's like, well, do you have Tupou on the other wing? I feel like that's there's no reason why he should lose his spot. He's been getting better every year, and obviously the Roosters team isn't as good this year. But that's going to be the question with To'o. Is he going to play Origin? And my thoughts at this stage is, he might be next in line if there's an injury or something like that. So that's something to keep an eye out if you haven't got him yet and you're looking to pick him up at some point. Isaiah Yeo with a 63, so much improved game for him. Again, not a lot of people own him. Jerome Luai, a bunch of people thinking about trading him. And so again, I'm like, what are you doing? He's averaging 54. He's going to be playing. A good chance he's playing round 13 and not the Origin, but you just have to keep hold of him. He's scoring well. He's made you 43k. These types of guys, it's the Luke Brooks level kind of player in terms of scoring, but he's in a better team and he's a better player, definitely. So I think you're holding Luai and maybe trading Brooks at this stage. Dylan Edwards, good. It's good to see him back. Hey, he's so good to watch out there. So elusive in first game back. You're really happy with that. And him and To'o with the run meters is incredible. 267 for Edwards, 7 tackle breaks and a try. So well done to him. Anyone who's thinking about Frizzell or Barnett ended up well. You're happy with the 57 from both of them. They were kind of in the high 30s with about 15, 20 minutes to go and bumped up their scoring with some high tackle counts from a lot of the Knights guys. I think Brailey and Watson going like a tackle a minute for the first 27, 28. So Frizzell and Barnett obviously benefit from that also. But really solid games from them. And even against a a Panthers side that beat them. I think they were in the contest and played well there. Kenny's doing well. He's up over 100k in gains, and had a few lower weeks in terms of his points in the 40s. So now to get a 56, you're really happy with that. But again, with him, Appy looks like he should be back next week. So he was on, there's a chance he was coming back this week. So he's probably a trade out very shortly, Mr. Kenny. What everyone think of Critter this week? Stephen Crichton. I think he played a lot better. I think he, in terms of fantasy, how you'd like to play in as a fantasy player, I think he was, he probably should have got a couple more tackle breaks. Just he beat guys too well. His step was great, and was doing really well there out in the centers again. That's his highest score of the year. Did pick up a try as well, but for him, I think that's a really nice base there. 21 tackles and 190 meters. A few people were thinking about picking him up, and my worry there is that I had him last year, pretty much the entire year, and he scored a lot of tries, but would still only get about he'd score a try and get 40 points, or score a try and get 35, or whatever it was there. If he can keep up those base stats of 21 tackles and 190 meters, like somewhere near that, then I think that he could be worth it as someone to bring in ready for round 13 as the centre and wing fullback dual. But until that happens, I won't be selecting him. Capewell was 51, had another solid game. So again, you're still completely fine with the 48 average. He's underpriced for that average at this stage. So another 50 to 80k would be ideal if he can keep the average up, because with him having a big score and then a few little ones, it really just stifles his money making potential just in that week to week, because it's based on that 5 round average now. He's got what, 7 to go off. So looking if he can keep that 50 or 60 over the next bunch of weeks, he should make some good cash before you would ever have to move him on. There's a chance he does play Origin too, so keep that in mind. Stafford Toa had a really nice try, didn't he? He had just bumped Edwards off, so it was good to see him in full flight. He's really cheap, but that's his obviously first big score of the year. He's averaging about 20 before this one, so I wouldn't be thinking about picking him up. Green's doing okay. It's interesting when they go to that left side half the time, Ponga was taking the kicks. So Green still did kick over almost 500 meters, but that's kind of the bulk of it. It's tackles and kick meters for him. The attacking stats, the run meters isn't big, and I think for Green, you'd like him to be averaging sort of 50 plus to be worth bringing in, and at this stage he's not doing that. Bradman Best was really good without having any attacking stats. So three tackle busts, 17 tackles, 147 meters, a couple offloads, just did a bit of everything to pick up his 47. So he's going to be a great option. He shouldn't be playing Origin this week. You wouldn't this year. You wouldn't think, unless he strings a bunch more games together and gets fit, and maybe he ends up playing like a round 2 or 3. But for him playing in that round 13 bye, I think he's a really cool option. Connor Watson, 56 minutes this week, so a few less. He did come back on for about 7 minutes. I'm not sure if he came back off at the 70th minute for any injuries or anything like that, or they just needed to try and inject some sort of more life to the team. But I feel like in that first half, especially, Watson was amazing and ran to the line well, good show and go, tackles hard. So he was about 40 overnight. So I think they took off a couple of the missed tackles. So 47, you're happy with that. He's still averaging 54 for the season. So keep him in at least until after round 13. Clem's been average for a couple of weeks now with slightly lower minutes and a lower PPM. So hasn't been as strong in the field as I'd seen him in the past. Fisher Harris with 43, a little bit down. Burton looks great in the centers. I can't happy days for the Dogs, eh? A lot of people ask me about Burton and if they should be bringing him in at this stage. Look, my worry for him is that yes, he's doing well in the centers. He's not a center though, so it might be worth them going, when Mom comes back, is to bring him back in as normal, and then that's when Burton gets a little break, like a 1 or 2 week break before the Origin period, because he'll be playing obviously when Cleary's at Origin. So I think that's probably the smartest option for them, is that he gets a nice rest there, and then he can be fit and firing for the Origin period, because I think he'll get a fair bit of game time during that period. So something to think about with him, if you're wanting to bring him in now, yes, he should get some game time for the next few weeks, and he probably would have been a good pickup a while ago if we knew that this was going to happen. But I'd expect a week or two off before the Origin period. So something to think about, and he could be in and out and just annoying your side. So if you can have him as cover, which you don't want to at 570k, that's what you can do. But other than that, I wouldn't be selecting him at this stage. Ponga, 40. So unfortunately, it was about 35 really early in the game, like 30, 40 minutes in, and didn't do a lot in the second half. And a couple of demerits there at the end, and just 180 meters. Kicked a few times. I thought he kicked for more than 76 meters, so must have been 4 20-meter kicks. If you brought him in this week, you're probably a little bit disappointed, but if that's his base, which it is usually, like if he ever has an average game, it's about that 40 mark, and then he scores 100 every 6 or 7 weeks, along with someone like Teddy, and then has those games around that 60 to 70 as his middle. So unfortunate if you brought him in this week, but a lot of people are still going to be wanting to pick him up over the next couple of weeks. That's just that mentality of going, oh, he got 100 last week, I have to get him in because he's going to get 100 again. It just doesn't happen that way, especially with these wing fullbacks. They're a bit all over the shop compared to someone like Cleary, who just gets 50, 60 in base points. Ponga's going to get a lot of his points through the tackle breaks and the try scoring and assisting there. And obviously they only kicked 1 goal, so not a lot going on for him there. Leota with 40 in 27 minutes. Talk about that PPM. Wow. Saifides, 39 each. So if you got Daniel, you're pretty upset with that. You're looking for, obviously his average of 50 for the year, so a low one for him. Probably not a sell, but I wouldn't be targeting him at this stage. Billy kick out, another low game without any attacking stats. He did get the 1 try assist, but 17 tackles for an edge is not enough. 53 minutes, so you're looking for him to play big minutes, and he just doesn't. Unfortunately, he has to. I think he's got to go. To be fair, Martin Eisenhuth with some OK scores. Spencer with 25, so he's probably going to be close to holding his score. 17 minutes. Is it getting lower every week? Has anyone checked that? Genuine 17 minutes. What? For someone who's actually a good player, it's really unfortunate to own him. Like half the time when you pick up a cash cow and you're like, oh, they've got a chance to do well, and then they don't. It's like, yeah, well, fair enough. I shouldn't have expected him to do well, but Spencer's actually a good footy player, so I suppose his time will come. It either will have to come next year, imagine, or through injuries, or he might have to move on to get some more game time, because I reckon a lot of clubs could use his flair and his skill there. But yeah, this is what it is. And if he's still got stains, he is becoming a stain on your team. Far out. 19 does look okay when he gets the ball in his hands, but so he just no tackles, 100 meters. Like he's lucky to make 100 meters a game. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. So there you go, guys. That's the game. What do you guys think of it? A couple of closer games in a row for Panthers. So be expecting them to trounce a few teams, but they haven't been able to do that. So they keep winning though. It's incredible. How was it? 30 games in a row they've won at Panthers Stadium. So amazing work to them. Well done to all you guys. Hopefully most of you captain Cleary, or you had a Tupou, or Brailey and Watson, these types of guys. I think it was a good start to the week, and let's hope that Friday night this week is a good one compared to last week. So hope you enjoyed that, guys. Please hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying these. Tell your friends, and we'll keep this train going. I hope you have fun. We'll catch you in the next one.